are discussing about animal tissues. Already learn about epithelial tissue. There are 4 types of tissues in animals: epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscle tissue, and nervous tissue. Okay, second type of animal tissue is connective tissue. You know, we have the various types of internal organs in our body: heart, lungs, kidneys, either side of the backbone. Okay, various organs in the digestive system like stomach, intestines. So these organs are located in various places. We move our body in different angles. When you are walking, doing exercise, when you are sleeping. So do these organs are moving from one place to another place? So heart is located in the chest region. Is it moving downwards when you are bending? No. There is no displacement. What is the reason? Because of the connective tissue. The connective tissue keeps the organs in their places. It works like a ground tissue in plants. Apart from protecting the position of the organs, the connective tissue perform various functions, like transportation of materials in the body. For example, blood transport the materials and gases. It is a connective tissue. And a repair of the damaged parts in the body. Internally and externally, there is a damage to the organs. So again, they are repaired by the connective tissue. And connective tissue also fight against diseases also. And a connective tissue give the framework to our body. What is the framework of our body? Skeleton. So skeleton also made of the connective tissue. So like this it perform various functions. So based on the function, there are different types of connective tissues are there. So they are areolar tissue, adipose tissue, bone, cartilage, ligament, tendon. So these are the different types of connective tissues. So let us discuss about each type. First, areolar tissue. Okay, first let us see about areolar tissue. So the function of areolar tissue is packing of the organs or packing of the tissues. For example, muscles and bones in our body. So these muscles and bones are connected to the skin. So it's a coordinated organization of the organs. So muscles and bone attached to the skin through the connective tissue. So it pack or connect the tissues with the organs. Understand? So this areolar tissue is made of different types of cells, in that mainly fibroblast. The important type of component in the areolar tissue is the fibroblast cells. So these fibroblast cells release the fibrous materials. So various types of fibrous materials are released. These fibers are elastic in nature. Yellow fiber and white fiber, you can see various types of fibers. Okay, they are elastic in nature. So these fibers connect the tissues with another organs. And moreover, you can see various types of cells in the areolar tissue. Those are mast cells. Mast cells and macrophages. So these mast cells and macrophages involved in defensing of body. That means these mast and macrophages kill and engulf the pathogens which enter the body, like bacteria. Okay. So areolar tissue also involved in the defense of the body. So these fibers are made a protein, that is a collagen protein. Okay, the fibers which are produced by fibroblast made of a collagen protein. So collagen protein is elastic in nature. Elastic. So like this areolar tissue involved in packing of tissues and organs and repair the damaged parts and involved in the defense mechanism of the body. So next one is adipose tissue. Adipose tissue. So during the winter season, we shiver our body, shivering, right? Especially old people. So this shivering is a protecting activity of the body from the extreme cold. So what happens when we shiver? The muscles contracts and relaxes. So due to this, heat is released. Okay, that heat protect the body from extreme cold in the winter season. Usually, our body have the heat which are produced during the respiration process. 98.4 degrees Fahrenheit is the healthy temperature of healthy person. Okay, adipose tissue protect our body by not allowing to escape the heat from the body. That means adipose tissue work as an insulator. Okay. If you observe the electric wire, there is an insulator over the electric wires which made of metals. Okay, that insulator prevents the escape of electricity. Like that, this adipose tissue keeps our body warm by acting as insulator. It not allow the heat to escape from out. Especially in polar regions. There minus degrees temperature is there. Polar bears, whales, seals. Okay, below their skin there is a thick adipose tissue is there. We call it as blubber. Blubber. So that blubber prevents the escape of heat from their body. That's why they can survive in that extreme cold. So the adipose tissue mainly is a storage tissue. Understand? Its main function is storage. It stores the fat in the form of fat globules. Fat globules. Adipose tissue is made of adipocyte cells. It's made of the adipocyte cells. So between the cells, here also you can see different types of fibers. So these adipocyte cells store the fat in the form of fat globules. Fat means their energy storing molecules. Whenever we need energy, if the carbohydrates are starvated, the fat is provide the energy. So adipose tissue is a storage tissue of fat. It keeps our body warm by preventing a loss of heat by acting as insulator. And next one, another type of connective tissue is the bone. So we human beings are vertebrates. Why we are vertebrates? Because we are having the backbone. Animals without backbone is called invertebrates, like cockroach. Okay, animals without backbone are called invertebrates. For example, earthworm, invertebrates. We are vertebrates. We are having the backbone. So in vertebrates, the body has a skeleton. Skeleton. Have you seen the skeleton? Skeleton is made of bones. Almost all vertebrates skeleton is made of the bones. So skeleton gives the framework to our body. Framework. We are able to move because of the bones along with the muscles. All vertebrates have the bone in the skeleton except some animals like shark. Shark is also a vertebrate animal. It has a backbone, but its body made of a soft bone that is cartilage. So bone is made of osteocyte cells. The important cells are osteocyte cells. So these osteocyte cells are present in the hollow portion of the bone. The hollow portion of bone is called bone marrow. Bone marrow. Have you seen bone marrow when you are eating chicken or mutton? There is a hollow portion in the bone, right? This is a bone marrow. In that bone marrow, these osteocyte cells are present. If you observe deeply, see these are the osteocyte cells. The cluster of osteocytes together is called osteon. So these osteocyte cells release important minerals which makes the bone strong. Those are calcium phosphate and calcium carbonate. If you observe the bone, the blood vessels are connected to the bone. Okay, here you observe at the end of the bone there is a portion which is soft, unlike the bone. That is the cartilage. Cartilage is also a part of skeleton. As I said, in some animals like a shark, the entire body is made of the cartilage only. In remaining vertebrates, skeleton mainly made of the bone. So in our body also cartilage is present. Let us see the location of this cartilage. Cartilage is mainly present at the joint. Joint means where two bones are held together, right? Where we can move when we can see the locomotion or movement. See here you can bend the bones, elbow region, right? So this is the joint. At the wrist also you can move the hand. So there is a joint. At the knee region also you can fold the legs. So there is a joint. Here pivot joint is there. Pivot joint. So joints are different names based on their location. So here the ball and socket joint, which allow the movement in 360 degrees. So at the joint region, the bones are held together. At the end of the bone, the cartilage is present. Cartilage is a soft material, unlike the bone. In old people, even or in young people also, the cartilage is reduced. Cartilage amount reduced. Then what will happen? There is a friction between the bones. Okay? See here. This is the cartilage in normal joint. Whenever the cartilage is reduced due to various reasons like age, the bones come together. Sometimes you might have listened the sounds at the joints in old people, because this is due to the lack of the cartilage. lack of cartilage and joint reason. Osteoarthritis. That condition is called osteoarthritis. So having balanced diet, having a proper weight and a regular exercise keeps our cartilage healthy. Not only at joint reason, it present at various parts. See, this is the trachea. Trachea means windpipe. The windpipe is also made of rings. Those rings are also made of the cartilage. Okay, external ear. In external ear, this is called ear pinna. If you press here, you can feel the cartilage in the ear pinna. At the tip of the nose also, if you press here, you can feel the soft portion, right? That is also cartilage. So ribs, in the chest we have the ribs. At the tip of the ribs also, you can observe this cartilage. So another type of connective tissue is ligament and a tendon. Okay, see this picture. This is the one bone. This is another bone. How these bones are connected to each other? If you observe this white color fiber-like structures are there. So these are the ligaments. So ligaments are made of the fibers, and these fibers are made of a protein called collagen protein. So collagen protein is elastic in nature. Elastic. Okay. The upper arm bone and the lower arm bone. These two bones are joined here by this ligament. Ligament join the two bones. You should not confuse with cartilage and ligament. Cartilage present between two bones to prevent the friction. But ligament connect two bones with the fibers. At all the joints, the bones are held together with the ligament. And next one, tendon. Tendon join the bones with the muscles. You see these red color ones are muscles. Okay. To move our body, the bones should connect with the muscles. How the muscles and bones are connected with the tendon? You see here. So this is the bone. This is the bone. And this one, muscle. So this bone and muscle are connected by tendon. Tendon also made of the fibers. Those fibers also made of the collagen protein. So this is about connective tissue. Blood is also another type of connective tissue. In next class you will learn about that. Blood and other two types, that is muscle tissue and nervous tissue. Blood also connective tissue because it transports the material from one organs to another organs, but it is a fluid type of connective tissue. Blood is the only fluid connective tissue in the body. So how much blood is present? In adult, 5 liters of blood is present. Adults. Okay? In infants and kids, less amount of blood is present. So what is the importance of blood? If you go to doctor with any illness, first you prefer the blood test. That means blood helps to diagnose our illness or health. Because the immune system involved to fight against the pathogens, the factors of immune system present in blood. What are other importances of blood? Gaseous transport. When we take oxygen into the lungs, oxygen transport from lungs to every cell in the body through the blood. Not only gases, it transports the nutrients from digestive system to every cell, and it transports the waste material from cells to excretory organs like a kidney, skin. It transports hormones which regulate our growth. That is the importance. So where do this blood flows in our body? Is it flow in cavity or is it flow in any vessels? It flows in vessels. You see here the red color and blue color pipe-like structures are there in the body. Those are blood vessels. Blood vessels. So red color one arteries, blue color one veins. We'll learn in next class, air classes. So different types of blood vessels are there. So which organ pumps this blood to every part through these blood vessels? Heart. Okay. Do you know the interesting thing is 36,000 of liter blood is pumped to the heart in a day. But don't take it mistake. 36,000 liters blood is not present in our body. 5 liters in adults. But that 5 liters circulate to the heart several times. Usually blood is in which color? Red color. So what is the reason for the red color? Any color is due to the pigment, right? The leaves are in green color. Because what is the pigment in it? Chlorophyll. Like that the blood is in red color. So there is a pigment. What is it? Hemoglobin. Hemoglobin pigment. Do you think all animals have the blood in red color?
No, sir.
Yeah, in some animals the blood has no color. Example, cockroach. No color means white color. In the snails blood in blue color. Because it has another pigment. Hemocyanin. Hemocyanin. So based on the type of pigment, blood color changes. In the blood, 2 parts are there. One is blood corpuscles or blood cells, and one is a liquid part that is called plasma. So blood corpuscles are blood cells. Second one is plasma. Usually, the plasma consists of various types of materials. If you observe the blood components separately, this is the plasma, and these are white blood cells, these are red blood cells. And the blood platelets also present. Understand? So blood cells again 3 types. Red blood cells RBC, white blood cells WBC, and platelets. Platelets. So 3 types of cells are there. Now first let us see about plasma. So plasma is the fluid portion. 90% of plasma consists of water. Water is the main component of plasma. Apart from that, it consists of several types of nitrogenous waste, which includes urea, uric acid, and it consists of different types of different gases, oxygen and carbon dioxide gas is also present, because carbon dioxide transport in the body by dissolving in plasma, but very little amount of oxygen is present. And plasma consists of very useful components like proteins, which involve in defensing of body. Defensing means protecting the body from harmful microorganisms. Examples for such proteins are albumin and globulin. Plasma also consists of glucose, amino acids, so different types of proteins. Now let's go to the blood cells part of the blood. So as I said, it has three types of blood cells: red blood cells, white blood cells, and blood platelets. Red blood, these are the red blood cells. So in 1 ml of blood, 5 million red blood cells are present in 1 ml of the blood. Okay, usually the RBC is in biconcave shape. They are in biconcave shape. Usually, cells have the nucleus. We learn in first lesson. Every cell has the nucleus. But in RBC, nucleus is absent, except in some mammals like llama and camel. So in those animals, in the beginning, RBC have the nucleus. Remaining all animals, RBC do not have the nucleus. So RBC have a pigment, already we discussed, that is hemoglobin. Due to hemoglobin, RBC is red color. What is the function of hemoglobin? Transport of gases, mainly oxygen. Understand? Hemoglobin transport the oxygen from lungs to body cells, and they transport some amount of carbon dioxide from cells to body parts. Cells to lungs, because oxygen has the high capacity to combine with hemoglobin. And what is the lifespan of RBC? They can live 120 days. After 120 days, RBC will die. The dead cells transported to the liver and destroyed there. So where do these RBCs produced in our body? After 120 days, they will die. Again, new RBC should form, right? Through the cell division process. So where do these RBCs produced in our body? Bone marrow. In previous class you learned. In the hollow portion of the bone marrow is present. In that these RBC is produced. RBC also known as erythrocytes. Erythrocytes. So actually, in the embryonic stage, that means whenever we are in our mother womb, the RBCs do not produce in bone marrow. They are produced in liver and the spleen. In these two organs, spleen and liver, in those two organs, RBC production takes place. So later, RBC production starts in the bone marrow. So this is about red blood cells, which are also called erythrocytes. So another part of blood is white blood cells. White blood cells. Why do they are in white color? Means they do not have any pigment. That's why they are called leukocytes. White blood cells are called leukocytes. They do not have the pigment. So white blood cells plays important role in the immune system of the body. Immune system. Immune system gives resistance to our body. Resistance means what? The ability to fight against the diseases. Understand? Whenever any pathogen enter the body, pathogen means harmful bacteria, virus, or any other foreign body. Whenever they enter the body, the immune system respond and kill them. So WBC is the very important part in the immune system. See here, these are the different types of white blood cells. If you observe, there is a difference in the structure of the white blood cells. If you observe these cells in the cytoplasm, there is a dot-like structures. They are called granules. In these two, in the cytoplasm, there are no granules. So, based on presence and absence of the granules, the WBC is two types: agranulocytes and granulocytes. Agranulocytes. Agranulocytes means there is no granules in the cytoplasm. See these two. So monocyte, lymphocyte. These two are examples for agranulocytes. And next one, granulocytes. That means in the cytoplasm there is a granules. So three types of granulocytes are there: neutrophils, eosinophils, and basophils. Basophils, eosinophils, and neutrophils. So five types of white blood cells you can observe. These two are the granulocytes. These three are granulocytes. All the white blood cells involved in the immune system. That means to fight against the pathogens. So let us see their function individually. Usually granulocytes fight against the bacteria. In that neutrophils are in first line to fight against the bacteria. Okay. Whenever the bacteria enters, so these granulocyte white blood cells reach there and fight with them and kill them. For example, when you get any wound, from there some pus will comes out in white color. Pus. That pus includes the dead bacteria and the dead white blood cells. So these white blood cells are sacrificing their life to fight against the enemies. Enemies means pathogens. So the neutrophils are in first line to fight against the bacteria. That's why neutrophils are called microscopic policemen of the body. Microscopic policemen. Next, monocytes and lymphocytes. Most important are lymphocytes. These are the smallest WBC. Lymphocytes are smallest WBC among all types. What is the importance of lymphocytes means they produce antibodies. Antibody is a protein, type of protein. So what happens in the immune system is, for example, the bacteria which cause the typhoid enter our body. Now the bacteria releases a protein that is called antigen. Antigen. These antigens are present on the surface of red blood cells. Okay, to kill that antigens or to engulf that antigens, immediately the lymphocytes release antibodies. So there is a reaction between antibodies and antigens, and antigens engulf the antigens and protect us from disease. So that is the importance of lymphocytes. Monocytes. If you observe, how is the shape of monocyte? Like amoeba. Amoeba. These are amoeboid cells. That means they move like amoeba. So how do they participate in the immune system means they reach the pathogen place and they engulf that pathogen into the body. Okay, like amoeba, it engulf or catch that pathogen and the pathogen enter into the body. That means enter into cytoplasm. So inside cytoplasm, the pathogen is destroyed. So what are the monocytes doing? They are killing the pathogen and cleaning the blood. That's why monocytes are called scavengers of the body. Right? In early morning, in the streets, scavengers That means the municipal workers collect the waste and clean the city. Just like that, monocytes also collect the waste material from the blood and collect the pathogens and destroy them. That's why these are called scavengers of a body. Scavengers of the body. So this is the importance of white blood cells. And the next one, platelets, blood platelets. So when you get any wound during playing or an accident, blood comes out. Is the blood flows out continuously? No. After 3 to 6 minutes, it will stop. Right? What is the reason? At the place where you get the wound, a clot is formed. That the clot is formed by blood platelets. So blood platelets involved in the forming of blood clotting. The formation of blood clotting. So blood platelets reach the damaged area of the blood vessels and form a clot. Helps to form a clot. Of course, along with blood platelets, there are several factors involved. So this is about blood platelets. Okay, what is your blood group? Can anybody say what is your blood group? O positive. Another one? Anybody another one? B negative. So what are these groups in blood? Why we are divided into groups based on the blood? Let us see that. If you see the relations among the people in the view of blood groups, you and your sister or you and your family relatives or family members are not relatives. Because your blood group is A group, your sisters is B group. So you are not relatives. All the people with A group are relatives in the world. All the people with O group are relatives in the world. If you see in the view of blood groups. But we don't see like that. So what are these blood groups? Landsteiner, the scientist Landsteiner divided the blood into various groups based on presence of a type of antigen on the RBC. So I told you, the pathogens release the antigens in the blood. These antigens are present on the RBC. So based on the type of antigen on RBC, the blood is divided into various groups. Mainly we have the 4 groups. Those are A group, B group, AB group and O group. Okay? Usually you say positive and negative. What is that positive and negative? That is RH factor in the blood. RH factor. First time this RH factor is discovered in the rhesus monkeys in Africa. Okay, RH factor, based on the RH factor, we divide as a positive and negative. So whenever you go to hospital, they do the blood test. So blood testing is very important during the blood transfusion. Otherwise, there is a clotting of blood in the patient. If the blood group is not matched to the patient, there is a clotting or agglutination of blood in the patient and he will die. That's why blood groups should be matched. So Landsteiner divided into various groups. We have these 4 groups right now. So how to do the blood test? What are the material required? First important material is a blood test kit. In that kit, 3 types of solutions are there. Those are anti-A, anti-sera A, anti-sera B. Anti-D means anti-RH factor. Anti-D means RH factor solution. It decides the presence of RH factor. So these 3 types of solutions are present in the blood kit. Along with that, you need a disposable syringe needle. a cotton and alcohol with the 70%. That means spirit you need. So what is the procedure? First you have to collect the blood on the slide. So for that you dangle the fingers. You can select any finger, mostly the left hand ring finger. You dangle like this. What happens? The blood flows to the tip of the finger. Now you press just below the tip of the finger with the thumb. Just you press that. If you press, what happens? The blood flow increases in the tip of the finger. That helps to collect the blood. Now take the disposable syringe needle and prick here. Blood flows out. Immediately put that on the slide. Put the 3 drops on the slide. And later put the 3 drops of these solutions and mix them with a toothpick. You have to take one precaution. For mixing each solution with the blood drop, you have to use separate toothpick or any separate material. Understand? So what will happen? How the blood group is decided? The blood group is decided based on the agglutination. Agglutination means clumping. Clumping of RBC. You have taken the 3 drops of blood. Above that you have to put the 3 drops of anti-A sera, anti-B sera drop and orange factor drop. You have to mix them. So whenever mix, first you have to observe the agglutination. That means clumping of RBC. You see here there is no clumping of RBC. Here there is a clumping of RBC. Okay, let us see. Here the blood group is decided based on the clumping of RBC. That is called agglutination. See this picture. Here the clumping occurs with the anti-A sera. There is no clumping with the anti-B. And the clumping occurs with the RH solution or anti-D solution. So what is the blood group here? A group. Okay? And the clumping occurs with the RH factor. That means A positive. Okay? If the clumping takes place, that is the positive. If the clumping does not take place, that is the negative. So what is this blood group? So clumping occurs with anti-B. That means B group. Negative or positive? Negative. So B negative. So here there is clumping with anti-A and anti-B also, and with RH also. So that is the AB positive. Understood? Because clumping occurs with anti-A, so A. Clumping takes place in anti-B, so B. AB positive. So there is no clumping here. There is no clumping. And there is no clumping with RH also. So this is the O negative. So this is how we decide the blood group. Understood? In next class you will learn about another type of tissue, muscular tissue and nervous tissue.